Al Jazeera Media Network is a Middle Eastern multinational multimedia conglomerate, and is the parent company of Al Jazeera and its related networks. The chairman is Sheikh Hamad bin Thamer Al Thani. The acting director general is Dr. Mostefa Souag. The network's news operation currently has a total of 82 bureaus around the world that are shared between the network's channels and operations, the second largest amount of bureaus of any media company in the world after the BBC. History Launch The original Al Jazeera satellite channel was launched on November 1, 1996 following the closure of the first BBC Arabic-language television station, then a joint venture with Orbit Communications Company, owned by Saudi King Fahd's cousin, Khalid bin Faisal Al Saud. The BBC channel had closed after a year and a half when the Saudi government attempted to thwart a documentary pertaining to executions under Sharia law. The Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa, provided a loan of 500 million Qatari riyals to sustain Al Jazeera through its first 5 years, as Hugh Miles detailed in his book Al Jazeera, the inside story of the Arab news channel that is challenging the West. Al Jazeera's first day on the air was November 1, 1996. It offered 6 hours of programming per day. This would increase to 12 hours by the end of 1997. It was broadcast to the immediate neighborhood as a terrestrial signal, and on cable, as well as through satellites. January 1, 1999 was Al Jazeera's first day of 24-hour broadcasting. Employment had more than tripled in 1 year to 500 employees, and the agency had bureaus at a dozen sites as far as EU and Russia. Its annual budget was estimated at about $25 million at the time. Expansion Al Jazeera English In 2003, Al Jazeera hired its first English-language journalists, among whom was Afshin Rattansi, from the BBC's Today programme. In March 2003, it launched an English-language website. On July 4, 2005, Al Jazeera officially announced plans to launch a new English-language satellite service to be called Al Jazeera International. The new channel started at 12 hours Greenwich Mean Time on November 15, 2006 under the name Al Jazeera English and has broadcast centres in Doha, London, Kuala Lumpur and Washington, D.C. The channel is a 24-hour, 7 days a week news channel, with 12 hours broadcast from Doha, and 4 hours each from London, Kuala Lumpur, and Washington, D.C. Al Jazeera launched an English-language channel, originally called Al Jazeera International, in 2006. Among its staff were journalists hired from ABC's Nightline and other top news outfits. Josh Rushing, a former media handler for CENTCOM during the Iraq War, agreed to provide commentary. David Frost was also on board. In an interesting technical feat, the broadcast of the new operation was handed off between bases in Doha, London, Washington, D.C., and Kuala Lumpur on a daily cycle. The new English-language venture faced considerable regulatory and commercial hurdles in the North America market for its perceived sympathy with extremist causes. At the same time, others felt Al Jazeera's competitive advantage lay in programming in the Arabic language. There were hundreds of millions of potential viewers among the non-Arabic language-speaking Muslims in Europe and Asia, however, and many others who might be interested in seeing news from the Middle East read by local voices. If the venture panned out, it would extend the influence of Al Jazeera, and tiny Qatar, beyond even what had been achieved in the station's first decade. In an interesting twist of fate, the BBC World Service was preparing to launch its own Arabic-language station in 2007. Al Jazeera Balkans In 2011 Al Jazeera Media Network created Al Jazeera Balkans, a version of Al Jazeera in the Bosnian Serbian language, stationed in Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina catering to and broadcasting around the Balkans. In 2013 they announced the creation of Al Jazeera Tar 1/4 a version of Al Jazeera that will be in the Turkish language, stationed in Istanbul catering to and broadcasting around Turkey. On January 22, 2014 Al Jazeera Turk's website launched with news content. The move made Al Jazeera Turk the first 24-hour news operation to go digital before broadcast. Al Jazeera America equals. Al Jazeera America is an American version of Al Jazeera English. The channel launched on August 20, 2013 exclusively on cable and satellite systems in the United States. On January 2, 2013, Al Jazeera Media Network announced that it purchased Current TV in the United States and would be launching an American news channel. Originally 60% of the channel's programming would be produced in America while 40% would be from Al Jazeera English, that has since changed to almost all the content being US originated. In a news release, Al Jazeera Director General Ahmed bin Jassim Al Thani said, "By acquiring Current TV, Al Jazeera will significantly expand our existing distribution footprint in the US, as well as increase our news gathering and reporting efforts in America. We look forward to working together with our new cable and satellite partners to serve our new audiences across the US." The new channel is said to be providing mainly domestic but also international news for an American audience. Al Jazeera plans to open new bureaus across the United States and increase the network staff in the United States to over 800 employees. Though Current TV had large distribution throughout the United States on cable and satellite TV, it averaged only 28,000 viewers at any time. The acquisition of Current TV by Al Jazeera allowed Time Warner Cable to drop the network due to its low ratings, but released a statement saying that they would consider carrying the channel after they evaluated whether it made sense for their customers. The channel was later added to Time Warner and Bright House Network's lineups after a new carriage deal was agreed upon. Al Jazeera Sports equals. In 2004 Al Jazeera expanded into the world of sports with the establishment of Al Jazeera Sports and the building of 8 Arabic-language specialty sports channels. On January 1, 2014, Al Jazeera Sports was renamed beIN Sports after its acquisition of beIN Media Group. The channels were legally spun off and to have consistency with all the network sports properties. According to Kate O'Brien, president of Al Jazeera America, beIN Sports revenue helps fund the network. Other channels Al Jazeera Media Network also operates Al Jazeera Documentary Channel, an Arabic-language documentary channel, Al Jazeera Mubashir, a live politics and public interest channel, which broadcasts conferences in real time without editing or commentary, the first channel of its kind in the Middle East, and Al Jazeera Turk, a mainly online channel at the moment. Restructuring Al Jazeera restructured its operations to form a network that contains all their different channels. Wadar Khanfar, then the managing director of the Arabic channel, was appointed as the Director General of the Al Jazeera Network. He also acted as the managing director of the Arabic channel. Khanfar resigned on September 20, 2011, proclaiming that he had achieved his original goals, and that 8 years was enough time for any leader of an organization, in an interview aired on Al Jazeera English. On November 26, 2009, Al Jazeera English received approval from the CRTC, which enables Al Jazeera English to broadcast via satellite in Canada. In 2011, in accordance with the renaming of the corporation, AJMN was legally redesignated from a public institution to a private institution of public utility. However, it was unknown how this would affect editorial management and funding. The network is also funded through its television contracts and revenue from its sports division. Subsidiaries Television Al Jazeera Media Network operates a number of specialty channels besides its original flagship news channel. Al Jazeera Network's TV channels include other operations. Mobile Al Jazeera Media Network also operates mobile apps for their various channels with Al Jazeera Mobile and Al Jazeera New Media. Online The network operates aljazeera.com, which is the main website for the Al Jazeera English, Al Jazeera America and Al Jazeera Balkans websites. For its Arabic language properties it has aljazeera.net, and for its Turkish properties Al Jazeera TR. AJ+. Al Jazeera Media Network also has a digital online-only news channel, AJ+. The channel is an online and mobile-only news channel primarily on its mobile app and YouTube, operated by Al Jazeera New Media out of San Francisco, California. The channel consists of mostly on-demand content. It soft launched on June 13, 2014 with a new web page, Facebook page and videos on YouTube. The full channel launched with an app in September 2014. There are also plans to also develop Arabic and Turkish language versions of the channel. Education Al Jazeera Media Network owns and operates the Al Jazeera Center for Studies. 1. Established in 2006, the Al Jazeera Center for Studies conducts in-depth analysis of current affairs at both regional and global levels. Its research agenda focuses primarily on geopolitics and strategic developments in the Arab world and surrounding regions. The center, with an extensive network of distinguished researchers, and a wide-range array of experts from across the globe, the center aims to promote dialogue and build bridges of mutual understanding and cooperation between cultures, civilizations, and religions. The center also contains the Al Jazeera Media Training and Development Center. Al Jazeera International Documentary Film Festival. The Al Jazeera International Documentary Film Festival, 2, is an annual film festival held at the Doha Sheraton in Doha, Qatar. The first festival was held on April 18, 2005. Every year the festival has a different theme. The vision of the festival is to make the festival an invitation to introduce different cultures from all over the world, foster better relationships through an exchange of experiences and knowledge, thus creating a foundation of respect and understanding. Al Jazeera seeks to make the festival become a place where filmmakers from different countries and cultures meet to create a unique platform that celebrates creative talent and encourages a cultural interest in documentary films. The festival endeavors to promote creative talent from all over the world and in this way, leave behind a unique stamp of originality and professionalism. Lawsuits against AT&T. Al Jazeera Media Network sued AT&T in 2013 for refusing to carry its America channel, claiming this was in violation of their contract. The two sides later settled in 2014, leading to the channel being added on AT&T's U-verse systems. Al Jazeera Media Network sued AT&T over contracts AT&T tried to illegally pursue in 2003. See also: Al Jazeera effect, Al Jazeera controversies and criticism. References. External links: Al Jazeera Media Network blog, Al Jazeera Media Network Tech, Al Jazeera Media Network Tech, mofa.gov.qa.